FIFA 21, the best camera settings and gameplay settings for Ultimate Team. My name is Brabsy, competitive FIFA player and your FIFA 21 coach. If we haven't met before, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's get straight on into it. Hope you're all excellent, everybody. We've got some awesome custom tactics coming up soon, but before we get into those, we need to make sure that our gameplay is set up to be as best as it possibly can be. So we're going to go into the settings of our main menu, and then I want you to click on customize controls so we can have a little tinker. Right then team, so changing these settings really can make a big difference to your gameplay once you get started. So let's quickly roll through these now, and then we'll get the camera settings sorted. So to start off with FIFA Trainer, we want to turn that off. It's going to be off anyway in Ultimate Team, but you may as well get used to it not being there anyway. Even if you're a new player, it's better to learn the hard way. Timed finishing. Guys, FIFA 19, overpowered. Goal every single time. FIFA 20, absolutely useless. FIFA 21, you're not really going to use it. It doesn't actually increase your shot accuracy or anything enough to justify it being on. I'll let you into a little secret. I've actually seen it happen in competitive play where people have had this on. They've obviously instinctively mashed the shoot button a few times and it's ended up giving them a red timed finish and they've just missed a really easy opportunity. Some people say to leave it on in case you want to use it. I say absolutely the opposite. Turn it off and then it's not going to get in your way. You can mash the shoot button as many times as you want if it's a goal mouth scramble. It really is just best if we turn this one off, guys. Next player, switch indicator, absolutely down to you guys. If you prefer to see who the next player that you're going to switch to will be, leave it on. I actually prefer it off, just as a personal preference. The less icons on my screen, the better. But that's absolutely fine either way, to be quite honest. Pass block assistance, we want to leave on. If the computer's going to help us block some passes, then absolutely fine, can leave that on. Auto switching, air balls and loose balls, I think this is the standard that it should be on. Don't change that, that's absolutely fine as it is. Auto switching move assistance, I leave mine on none. If you want this to be added a little bit, you can do, but to be honest, the less computer hindrance, the better. So I leave that off. Okay, dokie, here is a big one. Jockey. You might find this is on assisted at the moment. Guys, please turn that to manual. You'll absolutely thank me for it. In fact, swarm the comments now. Just go on and thank me in the comments if you've had that on assisted. Trust me, manual is so much better. Less computer hindrance on your jockey speed. You can just control it as you want. It will make you a better defender. So go ahead, change that to manual if it's not already. Auto flare pass, take it or leave it. If you want that on, leave it on and they might do some snazzy little things. If not, turn it off and just use the L2 button to do a flare pass whenever you deem it necessary. I'll not waste your time with the next few. You know we don't do that on this channel. I leave all of them on. So if you're happy with that, leave them on also. Now, right stick switching. This is another big one for me. Player relative doesn't make sense to the way my brain works when I'm watching the game. I much prefer to use the ball as a central reference point because that is what the camera is following all the time. So ball relative means that whichever direction you press from where you're looking at the ball, that's the direction your player switch is going to move. Just makes a lot more sense for me. Try it on ball relative. I much prefer it to player relative. You can always switch it back if you don't like that, but I'm hoping you will. Okay, so pass assistance, there's only a couple I changed, so it's through ball, I changed to semi. I like to have a little bit of a say on the direction where the through ball is going to be. I also changed cross assistance to semi, just because again, I like to have a little bit of input as to the direction it's going to go, but obviously a minor bit of assistance is absolutely fine. Last one to change then team is analog sprint. That is currently set as on. Go ahead and flip that to off, see if you prefer it that way. Personally, you either want to sprint or not. There's no real in between in FIFA, so why have that feature there? Turn it off and then at least when you press the analog, you know that your player is going to sprint as fast as possible, as soon as possible. It might save you a couple of seconds, your player getting to top speed. That is the game settings sorted for you. That should polish up your gameplay nicely as you're going into FIFA 21. The next big one to change now is the camera settings to get the most out of that. So to change our camera settings, we want to go into game settings and then move across one with the R2 button to camera. Okay, so from here, as you can see, I've already changed my camera. So I use co-op camera as a basis. It's a nice zoomed out level so you can see probably at least a third of the pitch as it's playing, which means that you can see all the runs as they're developing. You'll notice when you use this camera style, you don't use your radar as much. You don't need to use your radar as much because you can actually see it happening on the screen itself. So I tweak my co-op camera a little bit. To be honest, you can leave it on the default setting. I still find that pretty good. But if you really want to get the most out of it, camera height, I changed to 12 just to give it a nice level where you can see everything unfolding on the pitch as and when. It will really help your reaction time when you're seeing both your opponent's runs and your own players' runs, whether you're attacking or defending. Camera zoom, I just bring it out a little bit just so we can see everything that's happening. And everything else, to be honest, with the Pro one, it doesn't really matter too much unless you're playing Pro Clubs, which is a fantastic mode, let me add. So really, the basis of this camera style is so that you can see everything happening on pitch as it plays out. You can cover runs if you're defending, and likewise, when you are building up play, you can see where your players are moving to without having to glance at your radar, which can really up your passing speed and get you some juicy goals. So guys, you are ready to rock in FIFA 21. Hope these settings help you out as you're getting into the game. As always, we are a community here, so if there's any questions at all, drop it in the comments down below and I will make sure to get back to you. Likewise, I'm sure all of the squad will help you out too. And if you haven't joined already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. See you on the next vid, guys. Take it easy. Camera settings sorted. FIFA 20 sorted as well. So FIFA 20. Oh, it might help if you can say that word.